I'm Jeff. You've been here before, maybe. If not, that's okay too. If it's your first time, welcome, welcome. But this is going to be a special segment, or maybe a couple of special segments, depending if people like it or not, where I'll peel back, or try to peel back the curtain of how and what to expect from a trade with retail stores, and maybe some alternate options that exist for you, the seller, as opposed to the buyer. The first step in all of this is to look up your item. Say you have an original Optimus Prime loose. That's great. That's some money. Chances are you'll head to eBay. That's where most stores do their pricing. They check eBay. See those numbers and I've got the money. But before you start planning that trip to Bora Bora, you're gonna want to go to step two. Looking at the listing is one thing, but looking at listings that have been sold is key. That way, there's no disappointment on your end, and you have a vague idea of what your toy is actually worth. Using the Optimus Prime model, loose complete example, you can see here the different prices. It's kind of all over the place. Step 3. Low expectations. You'll look at two prices here, the highest and the lowest sold. That's just how it is. You'll do that because the number that you'll be told it's worth will be somewhere in the middle depending on the store and depending on the condition of your toy. So that's going to count too. And even if it is pristine, you're still not going to get that full value of sold for X amount of dollars. It'll be somewhere around there, but not exactly that. Step 4. More math, more problems. So now that you've got a number in your head, you'll need to factor in the buyer's side of things. You're dealing with a store, so you got to remember that they have an overhead. This is the formula, sorta, that you'll need to keep in mind. Their cost equals processing, equals time, equals money. So if you bring in a toy that's not so great, that's not as pristine, I'll give an example. So the highest bid on that, the highest sell rate on that Optimus Prime was $180 from what I pulled up. But it isn't as perfect as you thought it was. It's missing two decals. That's money off. And the box isn't the right box for this version of Optimus. The original G1 Optimus, there's a couple versions of him, and this box isn't the right box for that Optimus. That's money off. So let's assume that we take $10 off for every fault or every oopsie on the figure. So that price of $180, that's tippity top, goes to $150. And why $150? Because, like I just said, you're missing two decals and the toy and the box don't match. It's crazy. Step 5. Now we're cooking with less gas, but the trip isn't that far. So it's worth $150 after all the flaws. The buyer, the store, will look at this $150 and they won't pay you that. Just flat out. They might be able to get more out of it, but for any meat on the bone for them, they'll want to double or triple their investment. And since this is the only thing you've brought in a trade, chances are they'll settle to double their money, which is good and bad. That doesn't exactly mean they'll offer you 50% in cash. So that's $75 you're not going to get. They'll offer you 40% in cash and 60% in trade. On a good day. Prepare for those numbers to be lower, like on a Wednesday at noon during non-summer months. And that's if the dude behind the booth doesn't have to call his boss because, hey, it's Wednesday. Nothing happens on Wednesdays, Mitch. You run the store. Just don't play Showgirls on the main TV again. You got it, boss! And they might not be buying that day, too. Some stores have a policy about when and where, about when they buy and what days they buy. So step 6. You've got it appraised. Deal or deal meal. Deal or no deal. You have your offer, some cash, or a bit of store credit. Now, depending where you are in your collecting journey, or whatever hippie crap people want to call it, you're ready to take the cash deal and walk away. But there is a masterpiece Optimus Prime for cheap in a corner collecting dust. But the figure is $5 above what you've been given in store credit. Step 7. The haggle is real, and you need to love it. You're taking the store credit, but Mitch, you've got that Optimus back there for X dollars. That's only $5 more than what you're giving me. This conversation can go one of two ways. Yeah, so put that shit in my hand. Or, it is $5 and you've come in here a lot and you've bought a lot. I have some wiggle room. Take it. And this comes into step 8. Know your store. Look at that second part of the scenario where it's like, yeah, you owe me $5, asshole. Or the first part where, yeah, you owe me $5, asshole. The second part will only happen if you know your store, the people that work there, and you have a good reputation with them. That won't happen if you're a guy trying to sell a knife from Halloween 6, Jordan. Step 9. You can say I'll pass for now. This is one of 2 ways to get away. They might offer you closer to that actual 50% of value for your item in cash, or pump up the trade. Or you're really not ready to part with it, and you've rethought the whole thing, which is fine. It's your stuff and it's your choice. That's the key here, is that you have control over what you're going to accept or not accept. That doesn't mean you need to be an asshole. Thanks for watching. This is the second time I've made this video because the first one was 20 minutes long of me babbling. I actually have a script this time. I appreciate you watching. If you want more tips on trading with vendors or hunting on a budget without stepping foot inside a discount store, let me know in the comments below. And why not tell me your best or worst trade you've done with a store down in the comments below. We don't need store names though. We don't need that. Again, thanks for watching. Remember, or try to at least maybe like the video, and if you're not a subscriber, maybe give it a whirl. Got about 100 videos on my channel ranging from that was well done to is it this guy's first fucking day? And one last thing, just trans rights are human rights, and try to treat everybody with dignity and respect. Catch you later.